feuds has been lit. It's Wednesday night, Denise and Reg. Post Dynamite, come and get your Easter eggs. It's a dub. Middle of the week, it's AEW. Dynamic wrestling and end your night with us. It's a must. It's Dynamite, it might combust. Speak now, we're gonna give you all the recap. Live on YouTube is where you see that. The Cali connection with the feedback.
The California connection is back and live in the building. What is up, everybody? It is Wednesday, September 4th, and we have to talk about the AEW All Out Go Home show, AEW Dynamite. But before we get to that, we got Righteous Reg in the house. Reg, what is up?
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. I'm not the one who's back because I've been in Oakland, California this whole time. But guess who's back? My friend and co-host, Denise Salcedo, was out in Amsterdam for some odd reason. Maybe we'll get into it. Maybe we won't. I don't know what was going on. Very hot, pun intended, go home show to All Out this weekend. So very exciting stuff going on. Denise, how are you?
Oh my God, I can't stop thinking of the song Burning Down the House, My House. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody knows that song, right, Reg? You know that song, right?
Dun, 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 dun.
You know which it's Talking Heads, right?
Yes.
Such a great song. I can't stop. I can't get it out of my head, Reg. The entire time I've been thinking about it ever since Hangman just burned down Swerve's house.
Denise, so we were watching this is a TV show with two wrestlers, but can he do that?
Burn down a house?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's think about it. When you think about pro wrestling and some of the craziest things that you've seen, how is burning down a house not... I feel like we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, it's pretty. I've seen people get hit by cars. I've seen people thrown off the top of forklifts onto cars and it feels like they're dead. But I haven't seen anybody burn anybody's house down, so I don't know what the rules are. But I guess you're right, Denise. As far as like pro wrestling, it's not the craziest thing we've ever seen.
It's weird, right? Because, okay, you're burning down someone's house. Legitimately, that's crazy, right? But then we've also seen someone give birth to a hand. That's crazy too, but not possible. No, wait, technically possible.
Technically, we saw it.
The babies come with hands, but I'm saying just the hand.
There's some hands in there, but I don't know if there's just the hand. I don't know how that works. But yeah, I guess like everybody's like, it's arson. He's supposed to go to jail. And I'm like, we were watching a TV show with characters. So like, let's establish that.
But yeah, he should be going to jail. We've seen wrestlers go to jail on TV.
For a lot less. They were taking Stone Cold to jail just for talking crazy.
Okay, so we're on board here. Hangman Page must go to jail.
That's crazy. The match has to be canceled, I think. Yeah.
But this was karma, Reg. This was karma for Swerve Strickland. Yes, 100%.
That's revenge as you set my house on fire?
Bro, he went into this man's house and talked to his baby. Did we forget that?
The revenge is you set my house on fire?
He talked to the man's baby. Reg.
Chat, please weigh in.
Your baby.
If somebody came into your house, is the revenge to set that man's house on fire? I'd like to know.
Yes. If Reg, let's say you are a father and your baby is soundly asleep in its crib and some man comes in and starts talking to your child while your wife is asleep and your baby's asleep, you're not going to be angry. You're not going to want to not only kick this man's ass, but destroy his life.
I mean,
and that includes burning down his house. 1000% agreed karma.
I see how crazy and vindictive Denise could get because this is crazy. Burning somebody's house down, like, there could be a story told of like you go to the police. Say we both went to the police with these stories, and Hangman's like, he came into my house, he talked to my kid. The police would be like, yo, that's crazy, dog. Like, restraining order, 500 feet, stay away from him. Swerve goes in and goes, this guy burned down my house. What is that gonna sound like?
Okay, if I'm a cop and someone says this guy burned down my house, I'll be like, oh shit, what the hell? But then if he said, well, I burned down his house because he came into my house and talked to my baby while I was asleep, I'd be like, yo, bro, you had it coming.
Okay,
I can't do nothing. My hands are tied.
You can't be on the force is where we're landing because that's crazy.
Reg, I disagree with you. I think this is karma. I think that Hangman Page was in the right.
Fighting fire with
burn
fire.
This man's house down. Exactly. Fire for fire, eye for an eye, whatever.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm seeing people. Okay, people here.
There's a line.
Are disagreeing. By the way, there's a split chat here. I am seeing people
crazy.
that say that I'm wrong, but there are people that agree with me. There's people in here that are agreeing.
The dads. Okay, that makes sense. Hangman crossed the line here. I see that. See, look, this is crazy, Denise.
Okay, I just don't get. Okay, I think they're both bad. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. It was deserved. It was karma.
Karma is I beat your ass. Like I
want you to have a baby and watch when I break into your house.
See, no, the thing is, I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna burn this fool's house down. I'm gonna pull up and beat the ever living shit out of him, but I'm not gonna burn his house down.
So now he's gonna burn his house down.
That's crazy.
Reg, you don't mess with someone's family. Wait, didn't Swerve say he was also gonna piss on his grave?
I mean, Swerve said a lot. Said versus did is different, Denise. That's what I'm saying.
He went into the man's house with his baby in the crib.
All right, okay. Everybody keeps up with the baby stuff. I'm not a parent. I don't know.
Okay, all I'm saying, I'm not a parent either.
You acting like it.
House or baby? House or baby? I can tell you something. You can rebuy the house. You can't rebuy a baby. That's
how much was
you can buy a baby, but you know what I'm saying.
Whoa. How much was the house?
I don't know. I don't know how much the house was.
Denise, you're burning someone's house down if they come in and talk to your baby.
Yes.
0 to 100.
If a man comes into my house, breaks into my house and talks to my baby, honestly, first of all, I'd probably kill him on the spot. So there's that. I wouldn't even get to the house. He'd be dead on the spot.
That's all I'm saying. It's like he wouldn't have got to the burning.
But if I couldn't kill this man, then I'd burn his house down or set his car on fire.
Okay, that's fair. That's crazy, but that's fair.
Okay, for those of you here, everyone is split on the chat. For those of you who watch on the replay, let us know. Good. Was it karma? Was it deserved? Absolutely, yes, 100%. But let's talk about this because Reg, you're crazy. I feel like I'm right here. I'm sorry.
That's fair,
I
Denise.
disagree with everybody who says I'm wrong.
It's fair. I don't know if I would go that far, but people, I've seen parents do things for their children, and I've seen, some people go to some extra heights, so I understand.
Yeah, of course. All right. So, Reg, let's talk about this because we are getting Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland numero 4. This is happening again. And the cool thing about this is that people are hyped. And keep in mind, I didn't say second. I said fourth. This is their 4th match. This is going to be inside of a steel cage at All Out this Saturday. Crazy how fast time flies by. But people are legitimately excited. How did you think that they told, or what did you think about how they're continuing to tell this story, considering that it's been a lengthy one?
I mean, considering the little debate we just have, I think that was a great enough story to be telling right there. No, Denise, we've been to a different bunch of places coming to this match. We had the all-in talk of should Hangman have been in the match? Why is Bryan Danielson in this? The feud was getting hotter while they were building to Bryan and Swerve. So we were like, well, what's going on? Afterwards, everything that they've done to build to this has been like, okay, we get it. Like I think they needed those extra couple of weeks to add this heat to it. And I'm like all in. I think this is perfect timing. Making it a steel cage adds a lot to it. I think Hangman needed this, as in he keeps saying, look, I'm going to take everything from you, Swerve. I was kind of played a part in you losing your championship. Like, I need something that's going to cut you deep before this match. This cut him deep before the match. The fans have been super excited about the go home angle. I think this is like perfect timing, honestly.
And to me, it's funny because when I think about this match and I think about like what it means in AEW, when you think about like pivotal feuds in AEW, feuds that if they say, hey, what are some of the top feuds in AEW's history? I feel like you're definitely going to mention MJF, Chris Jericho. You're going to mention Kenny Omega, Hangman Page. I don't know what that was. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was a reverse burp, maybe?
No, it was like I couldn't breathe or something. I was gasping for air.
You're back in America, Denise. Absorb it.
You know what it is? It's that pollution here in Los
pollution,
Angeles.
Yeah, 1,000% pollution, smogs in her brains and her lungs. It's nasty out here, you guys. We can't help it.
I was making a point, though. I was naming all these great feuds, and I was going to add Swerve and Hangman to this. And I feel like now that we've gotten so far, we're so deep into this. And the fact that they had a man burn down another man's home today, it feels like it's the right trajectory for the story that they've been telling. Because, again, we're talking about our little debate earlier. You got to keep going worse and worse, right, with this, because they've gone to some far depths.
Yeah, exactly what you were saying there, Denise. Like, Swerve came into this guy's house and talked to his kid. Hangman needs to do something to show I'm out here too. I'm crazy. And I think this was the exact thing to do right here. It was such a funny story throughout this day with the telling of, like, they showed the video of Swerve buying the house and everybody online was like, uh-oh, that's not a good sign for this house. And so as the segment was going on, you're like, well, where's Hangman? And when they showed Hangman in the house, we're like, oh no, don't do this, Hangman. And like, the segment was progressing and he keeps pouring the gasoline. And then when he set it off and it was exploding behind him, a little bit extra going on there. But the effect of him sitting in front of his burning house, no remorse, just like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? Like, Denise, how do you get colder, a badder villain than that?
Exactly. That's what I think so too. Like, this really solidified Hangman Page as a heel. And we were having this whole argument, Reg. Do you not remember, like 2 weeks ago, we were talking about whether or not Swerve was a heel or a babyface. And we went back and forth on this, kind of gave reasons for each. And I still feel like it's been a little bit of both. I feel like almost every week it feels different. Like, oh, sometimes it's a heel, sometimes it's a babyface. But right now, Hangman Page has the leg up on being that heel, where people here are like, damn, you know what? I kind of feel bad for Swerve. He got his childhood home burned down. And so I feel like they needed this. If they want to tell the story that Swerve is a baby face, even though sometimes he's a heel, if they wanted to tell that story, then this definitely, setting his house on fire, definitely helped.
Yeah, because Denise, we were just talking. We just watched All In, and we just watched Swerve dance in front of Birdie with Prince Nana. Like, he was playing a heel in that match for sure.
I mean, we need to start talking. Okay, what is going on with Swerve? This man is all over the place. Heel or babyface?
Listen, it's everything, Denise. Whatever the time manages to be. And that's what now he's landed into that. I'm in peril, dude. You guys watch my childhood home. I just paid money for this, burned down. And the fans see that. But also, there's going to be a sect of fans, Denise, that are like, that's kind of badass. There are fans in this chat that are like, Swerve deserved it. There's co-hosts that are like, Swerve deserved it. So where do you land on that side of it? But I guess it's great that they drew the real line. Like, we know who's the baby face and who's the heel, even though some of you are kind of wild. And they established Swerve an even, deeper story, I think, because we all know Swerve is cool. He's swag. He's a great champion and a great representation of that. But this is going to add that kind of extra story element, that extra emotional element that I think he needs.
I wasn't even thinking of the stuff with Bryan Danielson. And now this proves my point even more. Like you mentioned, he was stomping Bryan Danielson, a father, in front of his two little kids that are like, what, under 10 years old?
Yeah.
And you're telling me I need to feel sorry for Swerve getting his house burned down?
I didn't say feel sorry. I just said that's crazy.
Okay, now I'm even more convinced. Karma.
That's karma?
That's karma. His karma was piling up, bro.
Okay, that's fair.
The intrusion, wanting to piss on his grave, slurping some man's blood, stomping children in front of children in front of their father, whatever.
Wanting to piss on a man's grave. I'm like, yo, maybe Swerve did deserve it the way Denise is describing it.
It was piling up, Reg. That's it. At some point, your karma's gonna get you.
Listen, I think that's also kind of a story element that they're telling Denise. Is Swerve knew that, like he knew that eventually all this stuff was going to catch up to him, and I think as world champion, he was getting ahead of it, and this is the one thing that he couldn't get ahead of. Like he was kind of playing off Hangman or kind of blowing him off of like, dude, leave me alone. I'm over here being world champion. I'm doing this, not focusing in. Hangman's like, I want to ruin your life, and I think that overlooking is what got him in the situation.
I feel you. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into what the chat is saying, because the chat is definitely split on this, and people are talking about a bunch of stuff. So let's get to it. We got Sheldon Jackson here who gets us started saying, welcome back, Denise. I'm going to need you to stop going to Europe for a little bit, because the last 3 times you've been out there, something happens to you. Something happens to me every day of my effing life, Reg. I feel like I need a show.
Yeah, Denise goes to places in America and something crazy happens to her. She needs to be just documented at all times, because
bro, I go to the street corner.
I'm saying she walks to the store to get some Cheetos and it goes crazy.
Shit's fucked up, man. That's all I can say. Shit's fucked up. And this has been happening to me for years, by the way. Like something crazy always happens. But my trip did start off bad, Reg, but it ended really, really great though. It really did. It ended fabulous. And I was so mad, Reg, on Friday night. And then Saturday, I was was it Saturday? No, I was mad Thursday night. And then I continued my anger Friday. Friday, I was on the phone arguing. You know what it's like to be arguing with somebody that you don't speak the same language? And I was arguing on the phone. I was arguing on a live chat. I was arguing everywhere because they lost my luggage. And let me tell you guys something. If an airline loses your luggage, guess what? They don't give a flying
catch. My God, they do not care.
They do not care. In fact, they yell at you. Do you know how many people yelled at me, Reg, until I finally snapped and I was like, that's it. They brought out, you know what they did, Reg? They brought out my inner Karina, okay?
I mean,
my inner Karina came out. They pushed all my buttons, all of them.
They talk about in the news this week, there's a lot of talk about code switching. So they thought on the other side of this phone, they were like, oh, Denise, this is probably a white woman on the other side of this phone. And Denise was like, yeah, absolutely not. I live in Los Angeles, big dog.
Dude, I was so pissed. You don't even know. I was so mad. Everybody was so mean.
But yeah, they don't care. They're like, not my problem. Like, but it is your problem. Well, no, it's not. Leave me alone. Hang up. Why are you talking to me? It's crazy.
It was so sad. We have John Stamey, who just became a brand new member, and Sheldon Jackson, who gifted 5 DWO memberships. We got Crazy 101 here, who says AEW were the best. Wrestle. Hope Daniel Garcia stays. Are we still on that? What's going on with that?
I don't know. It feels like there was that talk this week about the contract news and WWE kind of tampering and if people are staying. But part of it felt like they were saying that Daniel Garcia is staying, but I don't know how official that is.
Oh, my God. So I wasn't on Twitter all these 5 days. I don't even want to tell you the first thing that I saw when I came back to Twitter today. And I thought, okay, well, it's time to catch up on shit.
You had the luckiest 5 days of all time.
Yeah, but I came back. And you want to know what the first thing I saw when I came back was? Quotes from the Hulk Hogan Logan Paul interview that popped up on my timeline. That was the first piece of wrestling news that I saw when I went back on Twitter to catch up on shit.
What a terrible group of people. What a terrible bunch of quotes. Terry is the most awful Hall of Famer there is.
Anthony Cruz.
We got him for 5 years. Are you sure?
Anthony Cruz said, what were they chanting at the end of the show? Oh, yeah, I was wondering about that. What were they chanting? Did you catch that?
Yeah, they were chanting, this is arson. This is arson.
It kind of sounded like this is awesome.
No. No.
Or like a little bit.
Like, Denise is like, these people are crazy. No, this is arson.
Are you sure that's what they were chanting?
Yeah, this is arson.
That's kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that chant.
What you mean? It's arson.
I know, but it's kind of, it doesn't really go, it doesn't ring it.
You like this is awesome better?
Yeah, it just doesn't flow. This is arson. Like I have to go up instead of this is awesome.
It's not a real permanent chant. It's just for this specific reason.
Yeah.
What arson was happening?
But still, okay?
It just doesn't flow off the tongue as well. I'm like, I don't think it's supposed to.
Dude, chant it. It doesn't flow nicely.
This is arson.
You see what I'm saying? Your voice has to go up at the end. I hate that.
You're so funny, Denise.
We got Crazy
Oh
101 who says,
God.
what a go-home show. Hangman versus Swerve is lit. Yeah, this was a really good go-home show. There so many matches that, I mean, it feels like, you know, we just finished off with the All In. Damn, that was the last time I saw you, Reg. And next thing you know, we're already getting into another pay-per-view. So I really feel like it's the go, especially for me, since I didn't even watch last week's episode of Dynamite. I texted you and I even said, dude, I'm kind of lost on some of the parts of the show where all of a sudden I'm like, wait, this guy's feuding with that guy? When did that guy start feuding with that guy? And I missed one show.
Yeah, that's funny. You weren't here last week, so we didn't get to talk about the Jack Perry getting a title shot and that whole controversy surrounding that. You came into a whole new feud. There's a bunch. Yeah, kind of did miss a lot. And that was one of the best, like, post pay-per-views shows that they've had. Well, they've been doing a lot of them, but that was a really great one. So it's like, yeah, you did kind of miss a lot of stories.
They did me dirty. We got Anthony Cruz here who says, you think they bought $1 house from Detroit? What?
Why you got to do Detroit like that, Anthony? Maybe.
No, okay. Let's say the house was here in LA and they burned this house down. Honestly, I probably would have cried a little bit.
Why?
Knowing the prices, bro.
Honestly, yeah, no, they could not do. They can't even fake do this in LA. It's so expensive.
I mean, Tony Khan can afford it.
Tony Khan definitely can afford it, but like,
right, he'd be like, "Oh, $3 million house,
I'll
no
take
big
it.
deal. Let's
No,
set
no
it on fire."
Who has the fire? Do it.
I would be so mad. I would be like, "Burn that house down!" And as soon as you guys like get rid of the fire, I'm moving into that house.
Get rid of the fire.
I would move into a burnt ass $3 million house here in LA, Reg.
Listen, I'll move into the one that Hangman just burned. Where is that at? Where's that one at?
Yo,
How bad was it? I'd like to see the damages.
This is how desperate we are for housing in California. We're really willing to take a burnt house.
Listen, California connection, always looking for a house deal. Anytime we see a little house, we're like, well, what can we do? What kind of thing? Like Denise, part of her getting married was like, man, maybe we can afford a house too.
You swear, bro. You swear. Honestly, you swear.
I know the game.
If you're not from California, please do yourself a favor. Go on Zillow, go on one of those housing apps, and just look, just for fun. Just look for fun.
Denise, I live in the Bay Area too. I look at some of the houses. I'm like, what? Like that house that they burned on that show is like at minimum in $1 million in the Bay Area in like the worst neighborhood you could ever see in your whole life. But it's still $1 million house.
Depressing. We got Roberto Arsenal who says Swerve created a monster in Hangman Page. Hangman versus Swerve. For my God, the violence that will happen. Hikaru Shida is gorgeous.
Just throw that in at the end. Hey, respect.
This super chat was so yin and yang. It was so different. It was like, this is Hikaru. We're talking about Swerve and Hangman. Hey, Hikaru Shida is gorgeous.
Hey, this brings up a great point about Hikaru Shida being gorgeous. No, I'm just kidding. Denise, because we were at the show at Full Gear last year at their amazing, one of the grossest matches we ever seen. How did they top that, you think, in this cage match?
He's got to get Hangman Page's baby and punt it like Gene Snitsky.
Denise, what? How did we?
Dude, the baby's part of the storyline.
How did you go from? I'm like, Denise is gonna break down some crazy ass spot. She's like, get the baby and punt it. That's crazy.
Hey, I'm just saying, you just asked me a question. How can we make this crazier? He slurped the man's blood.
So a baby has to be involved?
And that's next.
Wow.
Wrestling has set a precedence.
Wow. I'm so happy Denise isn't a booker because her show would be crazy, you guys.
We got Sheldon Jackson here who says Hangman setting a fire and then just casually drinking either rum or whiskey and just chilling like it's fine. Normal savagery. Yeah, that was an extra touch. I thought the okay, let's talk about that because I thought the overall, the way that they did it, the way that they filmed it, they almost did it like vlog style, where it was Hangman essentially holding up this camera and he's talking to everybody. And it's not like a perfect shot. And then he like sets it down. So it's just a shot of him in front of the house. We don't even get like an angle of everything else. Because part of me was thinking, damn, I would have really liked to see the whole house and all of the different angles of it being caught on fire. Because it kind of just adds to it. But at the same time, because of the way that they did it, where it was just Hangman breaking into some guy's house, he's not going to come in there with drones and shit. No, this is supposed to be like a vlog.
That's so funny. I just had an emotional roller coaster listening to Denise because I was like, yeah, it would have been kind of cool if they would have had like the aerial shot at the back, but like he doesn't have drones where he's like, all right, well, I'm about to burn this. Everybody fire it up. But yeah, I love the part of him starting inside of the house where you know he's in there. You're like, oh my God, he's in there. And as he walks, you can see more of it and you can hear the gasoline pouring. Really great production. And then at the end of, he, of course, has a drink because he spiraled to the bottom of the bottoms and now he's back on that stuff again. Like, really great stuff.
We got Christopher Marino who says, so Hangman is going to miss All Out now because he will be in jail. This was much of too obvious a setup, did nothing for me. Oh, no. What a bummer. Well, I think because a lot of people put 2 and 2 together, right? The second you said it earlier, the second people saw his house, they knew that either a forklift's going to get run through it, some freaking Miley Cyrus is going to come in with a wrecking ball, something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, just like I said, when they showed the video earlier today, I sort of being like, I bought this house. People were already like, Hangman's going to burn that house down.
Yeah. We got Infamous Raider Loco who says, damn, Hangman a gangsta, saw it coming, but savage. So yeah, a lot of people did see this coming. We have Alexander Fitzgerald, who's been a member for 6 months, says, what an ending. That's how you sell a match. And it was already sold too. People were already sold on this 4th match. Remember when people were talking all mad that they didn't want to see Bryan Danielson versus Swerve at All In?
Yep. Look at where we got here, Denise. They could have actually did the contract signing and just went out there and both been like, I'm going to beat your ass on Sunday. And we still would have been extra hype for the match. But this like sent it all the way over the edge.
We have Matt Logan here who says, Reg, are we doing a GoFundMe to help rebuild Swerve House? Wait, the brother just got paid. I was about to say, did you not see the news? I was like, he got paid. If anything, we need a GoFundMe.
I know. I need for my emotional trauma of having to watch Hangman do that. Send me some, Swerve. He don't need no help. It's not about the money.
John Taylor says, 911, what's your emergency? Yes, I'd like to report house on fire. Whose house? It's Swerve's house.
Oh, my God. Good one, Tony.
Oh, man. Grapple Geekery, member for 16 months, says, damn, I love me some Hangman Page cowboy shit. Rafael Garcia says, for a long time, I thought the only serious crimes you should commit in wrestling were murder and breaking and entry. Didn't think about arson. Wait, what?
What you mean?
Rafael Garcia. Okay.
Yeah.
He said, I thought the only serious crimes you could commit in wrestling, unless that was a typo, were murder and breaking and entering.
Yeah.
How is arson? No, how is murder not worse than arson?
I mean, have you ever seen a TNA show? We see people die on there all the time.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's supposed to be worse. You killing someone off. It's supposed to be worse than arson.
I thought so, but I don't know at this point. Wrestling has corrupted my brain. I'm like, maybe murder's not that bad. That's not the end all be all.
All right, cool. I'll remember that next time, Reg. Next time we get upset, I'm just going to be like, bang, bang, Reg.
See,
instead of setting down your house on
there's
fire.
The line, and then Denise is like, I'm over it.
Well, I'm just saying, how can murder's way worse? That's all I'm saying. Murder is worse.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
E10W Hog says, don't know why Swerve is even mad. Hangman probably saved him some remodeling costs.
That's crazy. I mean,
it's a fixer-upper.
We were just talking about buying that, Denise, so it's a fixer-upper. You really got to fix it up now.
That's wild. We got Nick Carvella, who sent in a very generous super chat. Thank you so much to Nick, who says, "Hey, Denise and Reg, hope things are well. I admit, as badass as it was, I found it adorable when Sheeta ripped the dress shirt in Supergirl fashion to reveal her new t-shirt. A great promo, but also a fun way to plug new merch." Let's talk about that. This is our second Sheeta comment already. It's so funny because everybody's like, Swerve and Hangman, Swerve and Hangman. Hey, here's Sheeta. Couple moments. She wasn't even on the show for that long. She just had a quick little segment on the Tron, and that was kind of about it. She interrupted Mercedes Moné. We're going to be having this match over at All Out, and we find out today that Camille is banned from ringside. I mean, what did you make of this?
I think it's great. From exactly what you're saying here, people are talking about Sheeta after this, Denise. She's had a couple of really, really strong promos on TV that have gotten people excited. She's really shown more personality. We already know Sheeta is the ace of this division. So for her to debut the shirt and kind of show that beyond the ring, I also could do all these other things to entertain you is, I think, amazing. And Sheeta's about to wrestle Mercedes Moné at All Out. Could you imagine after the match that we got at All In, what we'll get at All Out? Can you imagine, Denise?
I think they really have to go out there and put on a great match. And I have no doubt that they're going to do that, especially with the conversation surrounding the All In match with Britt Baker.
Mercedes already did it again on Friday at New Japan.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to see it, so I didn't know.
She was like,
what happened in that day?
Momo Watanabe. I can never say her name. Momo from Japan, and they had an amazing match. It's like, oh, this is how Mercedes works. Like, we don't have to think about her and that person.
It's unfortunate, man, because again, that was a match that people were looking forward to.
For who?
Oh, dude, remember when freaking Mercedes came into AEW and we were talking about potential feuds? The amount of comments of people mentioning Britt Baker's name because people wanted to see it.
Who didn't want it?
You.
Why?
Because you're a hater? No, just kidding. I don't know, Reg. You're giving me the hard questions here.
I'm like, I could remember back to that time when we talked about it, and I was all, they're going to have a great build, and then ding, 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 and it's going to be bad. And what happened? Ding, 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 and it was bad. I knew it.
Well, anyways, Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida is going to be good. I feel it. I feel it in my bones, okay? It's going to happen. There's no way they're going to let us down with that.
No. And the way that Sheeta's moving, like I was saying, she has this extra level of confidence. She's going to go out there and have fun, and that's what's going to make the match even better.
We got Simon Renshaw here who says the Hangman committed a crime on live TV. Amen.
These people don't think so, Simon.
He's unhinged, though. That's the point. He's not supposed to care that he committed a crime on TV.
Are you going to tell the FBI that? Oh, he's unhinged.
Yeah.
I don't know. He can do it. He's crazy.
How many people don't they go out there and do some crazy stuff and then they're like, oh, I'm crazy. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, well, this person got a psychological exam and they're not mentally there. So all of a sudden they're excused and all of these things. Do we not watch the news? This is out there.
I was going to say, unless the roles are reversed, then.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as Hangman would have as soon as Swerve would have set that fire down, you would have heard, get out on the ground, pop, pop. Oh, sorry, we're getting a little too crazy and deep with this show.
Chris Ludek says, definitely enjoyed tonight's Dynamite. It had a great opening and closing segments and took Swerve versus Page to another level. This cage match could be better than Punk and McIntyre at Hell in a Cell. Oh, it's two totally different feuds, two totally different types of matches. I can't even compare those two. But I do want to go ahead and talk about what Chris Ludek mentioned here, which was the opening to the show, because this was something that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was MJF and Daniel Garcia. And dude, I was surprised by Daniel Garcia here. We haven't heard him really talk that much. And I wasn't sold yet on the character that they were trying to develop on TV. Mm-hmm. I was kind of waiting for it, right? I was waiting to really buy into Daniel Garcia. They sold me here today. I thought he did a great job with his promo, because usually when it's MJF, the one that's cutting promos, usually I gasp when MJF hits one of his one-liners, right? That's his thing. MJF will say something and you're like, oh, damn, he went there. This time, I gasped maybe once or twice, and both of those times came from Daniel Garcia. It was the one where he called down MJF for covering his face up with makeup to cover his acne, and then the turkey about the hair plugs. I thought, what? That was so mean, Reg.
Listen, you're not
I
supposed
did not
to talk.
see it coming.
You're not supposed to talk about the hairline. I didn't like that line, Daniel Garcia. We as men are supposed to protect each other. If you go down to Turkey and get that hairline done, you keep it a secret. Like they're not even supposed to know what Turkey is, Daniel Garcia. No, see, this is the one we talk too much about MJF and his promos, Denise, but this is the one great thing that MJF does. He's done this a few times where he takes a back seat to let whoever he's having a promo battle with get their shit off. And this is one moment where he's like, shine, shine, shine. He didn't overpower Garcia. He wasn't in the way for any of the points. He let Daniel Garcia get all the shine. And Daniel Garcia, like you said, did not let up. Talked about his acne. He talked about his hairline. He talked about them same old promos he's always doing. Like, this was Daniel Garcia with fire. After what he did last week's promo was great too. Did you see it last week, Denise?
No.
This fool came out and did a super fire promo. Daniel Garcia, again, kind of on that same thing. Well, MJF did. Garcia comes and cuts him off. Their security, MJF is on the outside on the ramp. Their security in front of them. Daniel Garcia is on the second rope in the ring. He does his promo and throws the mic at MJF and hits MJF like perfectly and like just like an exclamation point on this promo. And then he does this promo today where he's like, you guys thought that me being in this feud with MJF, I would get eaten up because MJF is his promo guy, but I'm not. And so I wasn't surprised that Daniel Garcia did this because I know that his charisma and the way that he is as a person, he has this in him and he could do this if he wanted all the time. They just haven't given him the opportunity. I knew this was going to happen, but this added so much more to this feud and made Daniel Garcia look like he belongs in there because he does belong in there with the high caliber person like MJF.
His delivery was so good too, because usually you can tell when someone's a little nervous, a little shaky, maybe a little bit out of their own depth.
Yeah.
But this time, no, like he sounded really confident and he needed to do that because, again, I was somebody that still needed to be sold on the character of Daniel Garcia. Like I was already entertained with the wrestling. Cool, check, got that. But when it comes to the personality, when it comes to the character, I still needed to see a little bit more because all we were really getting was more of the fun side before with the dancing thing. And I wanted to see this version of Daniel Garcia, and I feel like we finally got it. And even afterwards, when he went out there and he chased MJF, and MJF hit him with, I think it was like a wine bottle or something, that looked really cool. So now that you explained it, it was a receipt for last week's because I didn't watch last week, so I didn't know that. But the part that I thought was kind of cool too was MJF started being a sicko and putting his arm around him while he's like down and out, and he's like talking to him, and then he kissed him with the blood on his forehead. It was so disgusting. It grossed me out. And I thought, great, I haven't been grossed out in a while.
Yeah, but it also tells a story that they kind of been telling with this feud of MJF kind of treating Daniel Garcia like the little bro of like, yeah, you're up here and you're shining and you're doing all these things, but like you're not on my level. So like that's fun. Like I like the little things that you're doing, little bro. And it's like I knocked you out, you're bloody, but little bro, this is still all good. We're still having a great time out here, you know?
See, and that's part of the reason I'm so glad you mentioned the little bro stuff, because that's what we need to see, him step out of that. I don't want to see little bro Daniel Garcia versus MJF. I want to see Daniel Garcia, fully grown man, against MJF.
1000%. And this is the way to show it, Denise, because the most important thing in a feud with MJF is trying to compete with him on the mic. And Daniel showed us today that he can do it.
I love it. All right. It's a good opening start for Dynamite for sure. I'm looking forward to that match. We got Johnny here who says Sanoa Okada versus Claudio too. And where was Ricochet? So no, we didn't have no Ricochet here on the show here tonight. And then Okada, they're doing so when are they doing the four-way to determine who his
they're doing
are they doing the four-way at All Out, right?
Yeah. The matches will be on Collision to get to All Out.
All right. Do we know who's in those matches already?
It's Brian Keith versus Orange Cassidy, Beast Mortos versus it's right there on the tip of my tongue. Beast Mortos versus somebody and somebody else versus somebody. You guys gotta help because I don't remember.
All right, I'll wait for the chat here to remind us here.
And Ricochet, I don't know how much I could say, but he was a little bit shaken up after the match last week with Kyle. So
okay, it's Takeshita. Okay, so then it definitely has to be Takeshita, right?
Because Takeshita came in, confronted Okada after the match tonight. He's in it, yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. So they're gonna have 3 people versus Kazuchika Okada. Got it, man, dude. I missed one fucking week and I'm fucking lost.
It's a lot. They were telling the story on the show today too, so
I know, but still, it's a lot of information. I told you I was confused. I was like, all right, what's happening here? What's happening with this person? And speaking of Takeshita, well, I mean, the whole confrontation afterwards, a little stare down with Okada and Takeshita. Oh, dude, I got so excited when they teased that.
This is one match. I think when Okada came in, people were like, man, when he goes with Takeshita, that's going to be great. The story that Okada's been telling for probably like the last 5 years with guys specifically like Takeshita is why this match, whenever they get to it, is going to be great. And it's so exciting that they're getting to it. Takeshita has been on an amazing run. And I think him challenging for that championship is exactly what's needed in his AEW time. Okada needs something, a feud to latch on to, some young, hungry person that's going to challenge him and put a fire under his ass. I think Takeshita is the perfect person.
They're both in need. Okada needs something big to remind us, hey, he's Okada and we have him on that AEW roster. And then Takeshita has been the guy that people have been wanting to see succeed and do something more on the show because he's constantly delivering, yet he delivers and then we don't see him. He comes back, has a match. It's great. He delivers. And then again, we don't see him. And I've had enough of that. I want to see Konosuke Takeshita become much more on AEW.
And I had enough of that. Denise is fed up, you guys. It's over with. But no, I think even beyond that, kind of on the Okada thing, like since the last Okada match, and we're going to get into it here soon with the Kyle Fletcher match, Okada has been having some great matches and doing some things quietly opposite of what people try to portray him as online. Like the matches that he's had in the last couple of weeks have been like exactly who Okada is.
Right. So let's get into that. We had Okada versus Kyle Fletcher. And that was, it was interesting because that was the second segment following the Daniel Garcia MJF stuff. So one of the things that I was thinking about when I came out of this match with Okada and Kyle Fletcher was, of course, this match was good. It was very fun. It was short. It wasn't that long, but I felt like they got a lot in. But what I was thinking about, though, was how the first 2 things on the show really felt like we were getting younger guys that aren't big stars yet on AEW start to get some really big stuff, because Daniel Garcia going up against MJF, that's huge. Kyle Fletcher, he's had some great moments. He's had some great matches, but of course he hasn't gone up yet on that ladder on the roster. And I felt like this match with him and Okada, it really, really made me feel like, dude, we really got something here with Kyle Fletcher. They just need to, maybe finesse a couple of things and go from there. But like, I think we've already known for a while that he's going to be a star now, but this match with Okada kind of took it a little bit further, in my opinion.
Yeah, these first couple segments showing Garcia having a great showing on the mic against possibly your greatest talker on your roster, and then Kyle Fletcher has been having these amazing matches. Had an amazing match with Ishii a couple of days ago, and the ways that he's showing against Okada tonight. Great match. He showed his veteran instincts. He showed that he could keep up with Okada, and eventually he's probably gonna hold that championship that Okada has. Like, the future of AEW is so bright, and like in Garcia's case, he's going against MJF, who still has a long future ahead of him. Okada still has a lot of years ahead of them. Like, this is the future of AEW, and it's so strong. And that's just 4 wrestlers we're talking about.
Dude, that's nuts. I love it, though, because you need that. You need that stuff. You need to keep building the young so that once we get to these other programs, there's someone to fill in. We have challengers. We have people that are coming up, and it just keeps it keeps the program fresh. And I think that's important. All right, we got John Stamey here who says, Denise, you're awesome. Also glad you're back. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. Seriously, I'm glad I'm back too. I came on and right away I told Reg, bro, I feel rusty. I haven't podcasted in a week. I already forgot how to talk. I was gasping for air on the air.
Dude, it's been weird, like going on my phone when a wrestling show's on and Denise is not streaming live or streaming live afterwards. I'm like, this is weird. What were you doing with your life, Denise?
Oh.
That was crazy.
I was having the best fucking time.
I'm saying, yeah, I bet.
Let me tell you something. Did not think about work, did not think about wrestling for at least Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. For 3 days. The second I was done putting up my content for Bash in Berlin, it just erased from my head. I didn't think about work. I didn't go on Twitter. I mean, I posted my little pictures, but I didn't go on my timeline or anything like that. I didn't post. I didn't read anything. I didn't even go on the news sites. And normally I just click and read all the headlines and see what I need to catch up on. Didn't do any of that. Nothing. And all I did was just go out and live my life. And Reg, it was fucking great.
Wow.
My brain was empty. Do you know what that's like to finally have like nothing in your mind?
You guys don't know how excited I am to hear this, because my friend goes places almost on a weekly basis, but it's work, work, work. She never looks up from her fucking computer for 5 seconds. It's all work, work, work. She needs to take a real life vacation where her phone's down. So for her to say, I took a real vacation where my phone's down, so amazing. I'm so happy for you, Denise. It's about time. Even only 3 days is a lot, you guys. She's like 3 days. You're probably like 3 days for Denise. That's a lifetime.
It was. And I felt no guilt either. Usually I feel guilt. Nah, I felt no guilt this time. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to live my life. I don't care anymore.
Thank God.
Reg, you need to go to Amsterdam.
Tell
I
me
saw
more.
some stuff.
When you said you're at the red light district, I was like, well, Denise is really doing this, I think. I was like, she was out there. She was out where?
Okay, so really quickly, red light district. If you don't know about it, Google it. I have never in my entire life, Reg, experienced anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know that much about Amsterdam when I went, because I told you, like, the main reason I went was to go see the Anne Frank house. That's why I went. When I was taking my little boat tour, the boat guide, I was having a romantic time. It was just me and in the lights. It was so nice, right? But the tour guide said people only come to Amsterdam for 3 things. And inside my head, I was like, wow, I'm like the Anne Frank house, Van Gogh Museum. That's what I was thinking. He said sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I thought, well, not me, right? Whatever. Everybody was talking about the red light district. So, of course, I wanted to go and see what was up. Now, I knew that sex work was legal in Amsterdam because I had been told, right? But I didn't know how different it was than it is here. As we know here, usually, these people are out on the streets, right? They're usually out on the streets trying to get people in, whatever, right? Well, in Amsterdam, it's different.
Very different.
At the red light district, they have basically in the streets, there's little alleyways and you walk. It's very pretty. There's canals, there's flowers. I mean, it's great. Very nice architecture, everything.
You went down those alleys?
I went, Reg. I saw. I went down the alleys. And basically what they do is there are red lights that are turned on. When you pass through those red lights, in the window, they have the sex workers. And they're in black leather, lingerie, and they are waiting in a chair, sitting down, calling you to like come in. And they're waiting to get a client, get a customer. And I went, and I didn't.
You
really
went in?
know. No, went in.
I was like,
Reg.
what? You went? That's crazy.
No.
What do you mean you went?
So I was walking. I went to the red light district, and I was walking, and I was like, I wonder where these things are at. And the first one came, and I turned. That's when I saw it, for the first one I saw. And it was a mix of emotions, Reg. One was shock because I'd never seen anything like it.
First, of course.
And the other one was sadness. I felt sad because I did some research, and I would, as much as you like to believe that all of these women are there on their own willingness of their own account, a lot of these women are not there because of that. They were sex trafficked from other countries. And I felt sad because I thought, is this somebody there that's because they want to be there or because they're forced to be there? I don't know. And so I did not want to make eye contact with them. So I saw, and I turned back the other way because I'm like, I don't want her to see me seeing her. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't want her to see me seeing her. I felt bad. And then I kept walking, and I was just like, I did the side eye, and then I would turn, because my curiosity,
like, why did you go down there?
Because I wanted to see, I was curious. And then basically what they have is like a bunch of shops. It's like a bunch of sex shops. They do live sex shows there. You can go and watch. And there's peep shows, and there's titty bars, and there's all of this stuff, right? They have a museum about it, the whole works. And so I started people watching. I started watching the couples walking down the street and seeing how they would react. And guess what? One of the things that I noticed is that all the women reacted the same way that I did, where they would look and then look the other way. And the men were like this. They would walk staring and then would just kind of like turn around. But it's a tourist attraction is what it is.
And those women are acting innocent too, because
it was different. It was different, and it was an experience. And yeah, wow. I don't know what else. I can't
believe you went down there. I'm like, okay, Denise I'm sure she like was in the area, like maybe heard about it, but you went down the alley.
No, I sought it out. I wanted to go see. I was curious. I was like, what is this like? I need to see what people are talking about. And dude, it was full of tourists.
Well, yeah.
It was full of tourists. That's all it was tourists, because they all wanted to go see something that is not common here, at least for, depending on where you're from. I was shocked, Reg.
Some people, it's a shock for them. So the real question is, did you smoke some weed?
No, I didn't. But I did see a bunch of places where you go and they have these coffee. So, but they have is a lot of weed coffee shops.
Dream.
So they have so many of them. They're everywhere. They have the weed coffee shops. I did see them like in other food items, but it's pretty obvious. So like you don't go and accidentally have something that has weed in it without you knowing. No, like there are signs and you can see it everywhere. So like you're not going to accidentally drink a coffee with weed in it.
I hate when they do that in movies, or it's like, I didn't know that. Like no one in the world ever does that. I didn't know there was weed in this. Yeah, this isn't 1976, bro.
Right. But anyways, it was an experience, and I don't know, Reg, I think you should go to Amsterdam, have a good time.
I'm about to pull up. It's going to be way different than what Denise was getting into.
No, I was walking for educational and research purposes, okay?
It's going to be educational research purposes for me, too.
By the way, I did see one guy walk out of the place, and that's
the person you're not supposed to look at. Like that's like a line in the wild. Like you're just supposed to don't even like.
Well, I looked because I didn't know he was going to come out. Someone opened the door and I turned.
You can't look at that guy.
Well, he didn't look at me, but I looked at him. It was an accident.
He didn't look at you.
I didn't know he was going to walk out. I was walking by.
The worst thing in the world is that guy getting out. He's like, I hope no one sees me. I hope no one looks at me. Like,
he had his head down. Yeah, he had his head down. But in my mind, I'm a very curious person, Reg. I like to know stuff. I like to know. I have questions and things, and I like to know stuff. Part of me, like the reporter in me, wanted to ask him questions. Hey, how did it go, man? Tell me what happened.
Hey, how'd it go in there?
I wanted to know more. We ended up kind of walking down the same alley together. I'm telling you, this was an accident. We both just, as I was walking by, he walked out. We ended up walking down the same alleyway, and I felt bad because I was watching him look for like more. Like he was looking through the window and trying to see.
Do his thing again. Get out of here.
And I was waiting. I was like, whenever he's going to go in again. I'm so excited. It was an experience. That's all I can say. An experience.
Yeah, I definitely got to get out there though.
It was fun. It was definitely fun. We got Dream Ninja 77 who says, break in my house, talking to my kid. They dead. Thank you so much. Dream Ninja's on my side here.
Okay.
We got Crazy 101 who says Collision looking better than bum ass Solo versus Cody. Crazy 101 says Hangman was feeling like Randy Orton tonight. Yo. We got Grapple Geekery who says, Hangman did nothing wrong, Reg. Threatens your baby in the crib, said he was stalking your pregnant wife. Doxes Hangman having a second baby. Karma. I told you, Reg.
The line is
not a baby face.
The line is crazy for you guys. Like he said, and he did some crazy things, but like setting his house on fire as the result is okay.
John Taylor says, if a man breaks into my house and talks to my child, I'm probably in the wrong house because I don't have kids. In fact, I think I'm in his house. Crap. Y'all are wild in here. We got Alexander Fitzgerald who says, I will never understand the people who say AEW doesn't tell stories. I like AEW showing the video of Swerve talking about buying his childhood home, and then they show Hangman burning it down later. Well, I can tell you now they do have stories because I missed 1 week and I was out of the loop.
See, and then now everybody's going to know that. Miss 1 week and then start talking that shit again. They tell too many stories sometimes.
Thank you so much to Alexander Fitzgerald. But yeah, it is a lot of stories. It really is a lot of stories where you're trying to follow as many, and sometimes you miss stuff on Collision or Rampage. It happens. It happens.
And people get mad when they show videos on the internet and don't show them on TV. Like, they have to tell stories in more places because they don't have as much TV.
Right. We got them guy here who says that now that's how you close out a mother effing go home show. When I saw Swerve's video today, I thought that Hangman might invade his house somewhere down the road in story. But when Page didn't show up, I knew shit was going down. First of all, Gotham God, thank you so much for the generous super chat. But yeah, I love how everybody here, the majority of the comments have been about Swerve and Hangman. And again, this is a feud that we have seen and they're keeping it fresh. They're keeping it alive. And that's not always an easy thing to do.
Yeah, especially because we've been on this show sometimes, Denise, and we've seen go home shows where we're like, is there a show this weekend? Like, they don't even like promote it themselves hard enough. And after this show, everyone's like, go home show. Can't wait for the match. Can't wait for the match. This match is great. This match is great. I think this is exactly what a go home show needs to do. And the fact that that was the last angle, that's the lasting impression you get until Collision and Rampage is such a big move, especially because we've heard a little bit of talk this week about the placement of that match and it potentially being the main event. I'm like, how is it not the main event after that?
It's gotta be. There's no way it's not. Okay, because I'm looking at the card here. What other match would be the main event? I don't think Bryan Danielson, Jack Perry.
That's the only thing, just because it's the world championship.
Yeah, that would be the only one, but it really feels like the one selling this pay-per-view right now is the Swerve Adam Page match.
Yep.
Thank you so much to Gotham Guy for that generous super chat. We also want to thank Pancho Pantera for the super sticker. Appreciate you, man. We got Melissa Cabello who says, Reg, don't piss off Denise. You know what she can do? Set your house on fire.
She's 0 to 100. You guys, I didn't know she was crazy like this. I mean, she's shown some signs. Yeah. What?
Well, now I'm curious about those signs.
You've shown some signs. You said some things on this show, and I'm like, oh, Denise might be one of them. One of them.
One of them what?
One of them. One of them shank you up if you're talking crazy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you probably would. All right, John Taylor here. I ain't gonna deny it. John Taylor says if a mom can lift a car off her child, a dad can burn down a whole ass house for his child. The power of paternal love.
Yeah, I don't want to piss a lot of y'all people off in this chat. Y'all are crazy.
Dude, it's someone's child. You break in and talk to them?
Arrest them.
That's not enough. It's your child. You are the protector of that child.
Denise is pissed.
I don't even have children, Reg, and I'm mad.
Put him up.
We got Crazy 101 who says, Reg, why does Ricochet want to wrestle Jericho? Did he say he wanted to wrestle Jericho?
He was tweeting online about not hating the learning tree and possibly wanting to be under the learning tree. I'm like, don't say that. But he said it already.
So it's probably happening?
I mean, why would he say that?
I don't know. I mean, the way that I see it, it's like, okay, you want to keep being talked about, right? Because so many people, they're only talked about when you're wondering, oh, are they going to go with WWE? Are they going to go with AEW? What's going to happen? And then the second they go somewhere, all of a sudden they're not talked about as much. So maybe he's just trying to keep the conversation on him or try to keep something to give a reason for them to be talking about him.
Denise.
I don't know.
The vortex?
Some people might not see it that way, Reg. Some people might see it as, dude, it's Chris Jericho. I want to get the Jericho rub. Some people are going to see it like that.
Some wrestlers do see it like that.
Right. So I feel like it's not too crazy.
Okay.
All right. We got Craig Johnson here who says, did the fire clean them dirty ass floors? That was pretty funny, though. They threw some shots to the house. I like the part where Hangman Page told them that Swerve's dad, when he was a child, was probably telling him to shut up so he can watch TV. Because I'm like, yeah, probably like every dad did that.
Swerve is like, he was mad that you're born, or Hangman, like he got into some crazy verbiage in there.
We got Kylie here who sent in a generous super chat saying, love you both. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much for that. Seriously, Kylie.
Thank you.
We got Stephen Marchuli who says, house burning reminds me of Bray versus Randy. Quick comment. Julia has the aura, the it factor. So I haven't seen, but I saw the news that Julia did appear on NXT No Mercy. I haven't watched the video yet. I'm going to watch it. And yes, Bray versus Randy also with the house burning down and all that craziness that happened. So that is... I get why everybody's bringing that up as well. We had somebody earlier also mentioning that Hangman Page channeled his inner Randy.
Right.
John Taylor says, now Swerve's going to cry every time Crouch chants whose house.
Damn, it's connected forever to his house burning down. That's crazy.
Forever. He also says, given the choice between breaking and entering Child Creeper versus the Millennial Arsonist Cowboy, I'm probably rooting for Hangman.
You can come back from breaking and entering. You can't come back from burning someone's house down.
Wait, say that again?
Like Swerve, like in the grand scheme of things, you could come back from breaking and entering. You can't come back from burning someone's house down.
I don't know, Reg. Breaking and entering is pretty bad. Especially when there's people inside. At least there was no people when he burned down the house.
Does he know that?
Furniture in there. That was pretty considerate.
Okay. All right.
We got Metalhead Forever who says, how fake can you get with the ending of the show? I thought it looked pretty cool.
I feel like they really burned that.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's what I was saying. It would have been cool to have different shots, but
yeah,
it wouldn't have made sense.
Like, they added some special effects, but there definitely was fire there.
Crazy 101 says Hangman looks cool on Swerve's recent tweet. Oh, I'll have to look at that because I didn't see that. We got Marcus M who says Hangman wins at All Out, dethrones Danielson, and Swerve now has to chase Hangman. I do think Hangman's winning at All Out, by the way.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because hasn't Swerve beat him like how many times now? 3 times?
But
all the times?
I'm also landing at, you burned my house down and you beat me. That's a crazy thing to do.
He already beat him 3 times, right?
Like, Swerve should get revenge, right?
He beat him 3 times. This is Hangman's revenge now.
You burned my house down.
Part of the revenge tour. Anthony Cruz says the cage match is now unsanctioned. Keith Lee is going to attack Prince Nana and distract Swerve.
Come on, Anthony. Why?
What if Keith Lee gets involved?
I hope not. 0%.
All right, we got the J. Paul R.O. who says Hanger told us after he beat Jeff Jarrett at the Owen tournament, I will take from him and I will burn his world down. He sure did. Also, any 5-star text? Reg, have you received any 5-star text?
I haven't.
You did? You received one.
Well, we already talked about that one.
Oh, yeah, but not since then.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I've been busy.
Wow, Denise's husband. Sorry.
No, you'll get one soon. You'll get one soon in the next 48 hours.
No. I don't want it.
I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it.
This is insane. Leave me out of this.
We got David Primero who says, what can you say about 2 women's matches and 2 women's segments? Will it continue just for now? Who should challenge Mariah for a serious feud? All right, so let's talk about some of the women of what happened here. And so we had Jamie Hayter versus Robin Renegade, which was a pretty fast match. It was a squash, a quick victory for Jamie Hayter. We also had Mariah May versus Nyla Rose. And of course, Nyla Rose is always like the first person that any new champion tends to defend her title against. I think at this point, like if I'm Nyla Rose and I see a new champion being crowned, I'm like, oh, yo, what's up? I'm working next week.
Get your gear.
Get your gear ready. Exactly. And then, we talked earlier about the Mercedes Moné Hikaru Shida here thing, but, any particular thoughts about Jamie Hayter and Robin or Mariah and Nyla Rose here?
Yeah, I'm loving the work that Jamie Hayter has been doing since she's returned. She looks great. She still has a really great return energy, and she's ready to get locked into something real that she has to be in title contention somewhere just because eventually she's going to get there anyways. But I think this is a great start of her coming back. I think we are going to continue with these extra women's segments because Mercedes is a permanent segment, I think, forever. Anytime she's featured, they're going to be a Mercedes segment, regardless of what kind of feud she's locked in. So we're always going to have that. And the secondaries are just going to be the benefit of Mercedes getting a thing like this. The women have been showcased great the last couple of weeks, and I think it's going to get even better from here, honestly.
It has to be. And I think that was like a big reason as to having Mercedes come to AEW. I think that was the hope, right? That she would help the AEW women's division, not just with her presence, but also with just like the overall, the presentation of the women's division. And yeah, can you imagine if all we were getting was Mercedes every week and just one other person, whoever was feuding with her? The crowd, she would have, she wouldn't have the heat that she has now because she's a heel. She would have going. Like, people would be upset if she dominated the only TV time for the women.
Yeah, no, it definitely would be. It would show. You would definitely see it if that was the case. Of like, if it's just all Mercedes and she's kind of acting like those certain fans thought she was gonna act, people would talk about it. But no, she's been so like involved with all the goings on and the perception of what the women's division represent. It's really great for everybody. And David, Mariah's serious feud. That's a good question. I don't know where she goes with next with this one.
Right. It feels like they can, I mean, who's like an obvious person? Is there an obvious name? I don't think so.
Obvious. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of people that they could maybe like Thunder Rosa. I don't know.
That could be kind of fun if they did do something like that. I mean, they do have a couple of women. Of course, we mentioned Thunder Rosa, throw in Deonna Purrazzo. God.
I'm just thinking of like baby faces. That's the thing.
Oh, that's true. Because I was gonna say, Britt. Would you want to? I mean, that would be kind of a big win for her. No, okay, no. I'm trying to think of some other ideas. I'll have to come back on that.
Does she still work here?
We got Arnold Nicholson Jr. who says Denise carry on luggage from now. Oh God, guys. I'm going to have the emergency outfit from now on. We got John Taylor who says real estate agent selling Swerve's burnt down house in LA. Ah, yes, we have a fixer-upper with a breezeway and a sunroof at a bargain of $3.4 million.
Would you, if you hit the lottery, Denise, you'd buy a house in LA?
Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? That'd be the first thing I do. I would not move anyplace else.
Nothing else floats your boat out of all the places that you've been?
Yeah, no.
Nothing?
I really, no. I really like living here.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's very, very hard for me to think about moving someplace else.
I always think that, like, I could maybe think about it, but then I get back home and I'm like, California, dude, you can't nobody do it like California. There's only one place in the world I've ever been, and that's Jamaica, where I'm like, I can stay, but the rest of them, I'm like, I'm ready to get back home.
Yeah, but even then, let's say you go to Jamaica, like, is it going to feel like your real life, though, the way that you have it here? It's not. It's going to be so different.
It's going to be better, maybe.
Yeah, but if you're, like, always at a 5-star resort, because when I'm in a 5-star resort or something, if some fancy place, I'm like, yeah, I could live here forever, but I ain't going to be living in no 5-star resort forever.
No, it's not going to be resort life. Well, hopefully I'll have, like, a giant mansion by then, you know?
A giant mansion in Jamaica. Let's go.
Tony Khan, help.
Rafael Garcia. So you watching SmackDown or Collision this week? I'm going to be in Chicago. So I'm probably just going to be
at Collision.
Yeah. No, I always go out. I don't show up early for Collision. They're going to be shooting it that day, right?
Yeah, they recorded it live.
And yeah, then I'll show. But before All Out?
No, on Friday.
Oh, so it's going to be on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, you're just going to be there just for Saturday?
No, I was going to be there Friday too, but I wasn't planning on I wasn't sure what I was doing. So Rafael Garcia's question is actually pretty spot on.
Mm-hmm. Not going to be watching SmackDown.
No, I got to watch SmackDown because I got to do Busted Open on Saturday.
Wow. Shout out to Mark Henry.
Hey, I got a job to do, Reg. Crazy 101 says thoughts on AEW, Tony Ian getting sued. It's so dumb. Oh my God. I've only seen little pieces here and there from the lawsuit. And I got to agree. It doesn't look too great for them. Wow. One of the excerpts that I saw was them saying that he was upset that he didn't get called to call Sting's last match. Did you see that?
I did see that. I'm like, dog, this is not any reason to take somebody to court. What are we doing here?
What?
You didn't get the job? Like, dog, no, what? And like the way that the boys are like, the way that they've been moving has been kind of like, maybe you should keep this under quiet. And now the things that they haven't kept quiet are kind of coming back to bite them in the butt. It's like, you guys, this is messy.
There are certain things where I feel like just let it go and move on. Just move on with your life now. You're just making it worse. Like I haven't seen anything that has made me say, oh, they have a real case here.
Right, exactly. Like we're past it. Like a lot has happened. I know you're still frustrated, but like what's going to come out of this besides you guys looking crazy? And you guys just look crazy.
We got Envy the engineer here who says Kevin Kelly constantly bitching has been the old man yelling at clouds meme. What is this man doing?
He's bitter.
Yeah, it's kind of scary though, because sometimes like that's my fear, Reg. I'm like, I never want to become bitter, and you see it happen to people.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
And they don't even know it. They don't even know it. They think they're in the right.
Yeah, if when you're in that deep and you're just like everybody's wrong but me, and it's like, oh, I don't like. It's sad.
Yeah, it is. It is. We got John Taylor here who says justified this is arson chance on Wednesday night. AEW Dynamite on TBS Network.
John Taylor's back on the bed. Thanks, John.
Yo, light the fuse.
Light the fuse.
Light the fuse. Why couldn't they chant light the fuse?
That's the new intro to Dynamite now. Oh, they don't do light the fuse anymore.
Don't they do light the fuse?
Does it say? It doesn't say light the fuse anymore, does it?
Bro, light the fuse is stuck in my head permanently.
Does it say that?
It used to.
Light the fuse. No, they have a new song.
Light the fuse. That was the old song. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. They don't like the fuse anymore.
I mean, they can still chant it. All right, we got Nick Carvello here who says, as a follow-up to my chat mentioning Sheeta Supergirl-esque tearaway reveal of her new shirt, she tweeted after Dynamite advertising her new shirt. Definitely some genius marketing. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it.
Somebody's knocking it out of the park over there with these ideas, that and some other things. Like, good work back there. Actually, on some really real, not me saying a joke because I'm being a person. The T-shirts and merch that they put out today, they got some new artists working on AEW merch, killing it, knocking it out the park. If you guys haven't seen it, please check it out. Like, they're doing some work to improve what's been going on.
Good, because the last time we were here talking about AEW merch, we were talking about the one of Shayna Wayne's, the BBL.
No good, yeah.
And then remember the Okada one? And then the MJF one that we were talking about?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
There were some bad ones in there. So I think a new artist, I mean, there's so many talented people out there. So let's just like...
Too many.
Freshen it up there. Thank you so much, Nick. We got Crazy 101 who says, is Ricochet injured? AEW. What's CC2 will be...
Continental Classic,
sorry. Will be interesting. I don't know. Has there been anything put out there about Ricochet being injured?
Put out there?
Yeah, I said put out there.
I like I said, after last week's match, I heard he was banged up. So I don't know how the effects of it.
Damn. I really hope not, because it's like you just got there and that must suck. You know, that will suck. Getting injured when you just get somewhere. That sucks. All right, we got Brandon Ellis who says, I think they are setting up Takeshita to win the C2 and beat Okada in the final. He loses to him to wrestle at Wrestle Dream, and then he beats him on the Continental Classic final. I would love it if they did that. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I think that this is Brandon might be right exactly where they're going on to with Takeshita being in the G1. I think that was kind of the appetizer of like, look, this is our guy. He'll go and do the most prestigious tournament in pro wrestling and he'll kill it and then come back and win ours. That's like a great story to tell.
We got a generous comment here from Howie Potter who says, on Wednesdays we stand Denise. Thank you so much. And man, John Taylor, thank you so freaking much for this generous super chat. I don't even know what to say. Look at Reg's eyes. Reg's eyes just bulged out of his face.
Tony Khan, you're quite a guy, man. No, John Taylor, dog.
John Taylor.
Our fans, Denise, I'm just like, supporters, they're just the best, honestly.
John Taylor says, I'm contributing to Denise's next vacation fund. I have never seen Homegirl more happy than talking about forgetting Twitter, content creation, and pro wrestling. Take the vacation, Denise.
Wow.
John, seriously, you didn't have to do that, but that was so freaking kind of you, man. Chat, please give John Taylor some love, because I never know what to say when someone gives this kind of money, because I know Reg and I know what it's like to work for every single fucking dollar. And when you say learn the value of a dollar, we know the value of a dollar. So seriously, thank you for sending this in. It really, really goes a long way.
Yeah, appreciate that so much, John. You contributed to some great bits on our show, and that's just amazing to see. And also, people on the other end, what Denise is saying, when you guys submit $1, it's still amazing. Like, you don't have to send us anything. We know, like, the game is hard out there. When you submit us $1, that's awesome. Like, you taking anything out of your hard-earned money to help with Denise and I is great. So you guys are just so cool. Thank you.
But also, he is Tony Khan. Confirmed.
But also, I mean,
Confirmed.
TK is like finally being like, look, you guys, it really is me. Here's the money. I knew it.
We got Nell D here says, I'm going to Amsterdam and saying Denise sent me. Dude, if anyone goes to Amsterdam, please take a picture and say Denise sent me. I would die of laughter. At the red light district. Although you can't take pictures there, by the way.
Of course not. No.
Because you get charged $300. You get fined $300 if you take a picture there.
I've been to a bunch of places like that. We can't take your phone. I said too much already. Please move forward.
Reg. My ears. All right. ZZE says, was Edge there? ZZE Haluka says, was Edge there for another live sex celebration?
Denise saw it, red lights and all.
Dude, they could have easily fucking just played that clip right there on a loop in Amsterdam on the street. Live sex celebration.
No, it's a lot more.
Yeah, it really is. But I don't know. It's too much for me. It's too much. My curiosity doesn't go that far.
You went?
Yeah. No, not inside, Reg. Oh, God, no.
But honestly, the fact that you went down there is shocking enough. Like, you even went down the alleys because, like, what?
Oh, I'm that person. I'm just very, very curious. I remember when we went on our honeymoon in Hawaii, there was, we saw a cult. They were a bunch of young kids that were being baptized in the ocean. It was a cult. Like, you can tell it was some weird, crazy stuff, right? And I told my husband, oh, I need to go find out more. And I started walking and I was going to go ask somebody. All of a sudden, I just feel him pull my shirt.
Yeah, no, he's like, you better get back here. What are you doing?
He was like, Denise, no. And I was like, I want to go find out. I was like, let me just go find out. Like, let me just go ask what this is all about. And so that's what I didn't get to go ask.
Your husband's first official thing as your husband is like, no, if you go, you might stay. And how am I going to get you out?
This is the thing. And this is what's funny. It's like people always worry, right? They always worry. Like, oh, she's going to get herself into trouble or some crazy stuff. Absolutely not. It's harmless. Ask a question. Move on. What were they going to do? Drag me into the ocean and baptize me?
Mm-hmm. Put some of that voodoo in your eyes. Be like, stay with us.
They seemed happy. I wanted to know what was happening.
They are happy until the Kool-Aid comes out.
Oh, man. We got Muhammad Dream who says Swerve was just giving advice to the baby. There was no need for Hangman to burn down his house. Now he has to kill him.
That's all I'm saying. Swerve was just like, look, your dad's crazy. You might want to say something and help to make him not so crazy. And Hangman took it to a whole nother place. He's just giving advice, Denise.
Y'all are crazy. Now you're crazy, Reg, for justifying this.
I'm not justifying. You're justifying it, though.
No, you're justifying the baby part. You're justifying the breaking and entering and talking to the baby. And so it's Muhammad Dream.
That's pretty crazy. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. All right, but now what does he got to do? Swerve's got to steal his horse?
Oh, yeah. Swerve has to come down at the horse on All Out. Let me...
If he takes Hangman's... I was going to say Hangman Swerve's. If he takes Hangman's fucking horse, I want credit for that.
That's like great.
You heard it here first. Take the horse. Nah, I don't think they can do that, though.
Why not?
Bro, PETA. They will get really mad.
Well, he's just going to ride it. He's not going to do anything to it.
Oh, I hope not. I ain't going to be explaining to PETA.
I'm going to submit that to the AEW suggestion box.
There's the suggestion box.
For me.
All right. Alex Ramirez says TK should buy Titan Towers and have Hangman burn it.
That's crazy.
How is Swerve going to top this? I don't know.
You already said it. Bring his baby in there and punt him like Snitsky.
Either punt the baby or steal the horse.
Let's do one good idea. The baby thing, I can't be in on that.
Ryan Lambert says Hangman pulling a Lisa Left Eye Lopez tonight.
Damn, that's crazy. That's a crazy reference.
We got Jimmy Jimenez who says, who's the next AEW World Champion, Hangman or Darby? I'm going to go with Darby because Hangman's been there.
Yeah, I'm going to say Darby too. I think Darby before Hangman. Like Hangman's definitely going to get back to it, but I think next I'd say Darby.
We got Matt Logan here who says, Denise, SRS was so lost last Monday. He was live for 2 minutes without sound, was live.
That probably was so good.
That's karma for always muting me. Karma. That was karma.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Karma's hitting everybody this week, Denise.
It definitely is. You know, when I lost my luggage, I called my husband crying and I said, I don't know what I did to deserve this, because I have this crazy idea that if something bad happens to you, you did something to deserve it.
Okay.
Like, because it's your karma. And I was racking my brain. I was like, what did I do? What did I do?
Did you figure it out?
Like, no, he was like, you're crazy, Denise. If that's the way that the world worked, then all of these bad people who do bad things would be wiped out already. And they're still there, alive and thriving and kicking and having a great time.
And Denise, you're not a bad person at all. And these things happen to you so often. Like karma can't be kicking your ass that much. Like karma's always fighting you if that's the case.
Nah, the way that I saw it was, I think God was testing me. I think God was like, you think you're so savvy. Let's see how savvy you are. And okay. I think I failed. I was honestly disappointed in myself because I cried about it.
I mean, that's first, of course. No one should be surprised at that. A woman crying. Damn, that was sexist. That's crazy. I'm sorry, you guys. I take it back. I take it back. I immediately took it back.
I wasn't even offended because I cried.
You did cry.
I did cry, but I cried because I was so frustrated.
Of course, yeah, of course. That's how women.
And so I was on the phone like, I don't know why this happens to me.
And sometimes women be using that because they think it'll work. They'll be like, if I cry, I'll get anything I want, right? Don't leave me out here.
I don't know.
You do know.
I was just trying to do like the mental math, right? Like, why did this happen? There's got to be a reason. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't think of a reason. And I was like, whatever. Just bad stuff just happens sometimes.
Sometimes
guys.
it just happens. You can't do anything about it.
Crazy 101 says Hangman Swerve blood feud. Phil Drew bracelet feud. Oh. I have no comment.
They made up for it at the bash. It's fine.
They had a good one. Melissa Cabello says, are you live streaming All Out? No, I will be at All Out getting footage. So I'll be doing that. Reg, what's your plan?
Phil's going to be there too, so I wouldn't have anybody to be friends with, so no.
How sad.
Wow, look at it. All my friends are going to be having a great time. I'll be here in Oakland like a loser.
Wait, so Phil's gonna be there, I'm gonna be there, and Will's gonna be there?
Come on, man. This is crazy. Everybody just gonna be slapping hands, eating popcorn together. All right, you guys see it.
I'm gonna get a group picture and put sorry, Reg.
That's crazy.
All right, we got MB, the engineer, who says, I'm donating again because I'm an asshole that's impatient. And chat came through to stop yelling about super chats. Now Darby's new champ soon or someone else. Thank you so much, MB, the engineer. And yes, I do think Darby's down the line in terms of getting that AEW World Championship. And dude's been busting his ass, man. I've said it a million times, but he is legitimately cool. It's someone unique that AEW has on their roster.
Yeah, he's potentially the most unique superstar that AEW has. I don't think he's gonna beat Brian, but I think he might be the guy that beats Brian.
Right. I feel you on that. That's good stuff. All right, we got John Taylor here who says, knowing Denise, she would end up being the leader of said cult. The leader is good. The leader is great. We surround our super chats as of this date.
Listen, sometimes Denise do be having those rah-rah speeches where we're into this. It could work.
Yo, I have a future as a cult leader. Let's effing go.
Let's see, you know.
Let's effing go, man. That's what my research was all about.
That was it.
I'm going to promise everybody, on top of BJ parties, we're also going to have red light district parties.
Yo, I'm about to join the cult.
You're sold. I'm going to the cult.
2 things. I'm already like, all right, let's go.
You're like, you know what? A cult doesn't sound that bad.
Not the worst.
We got Grapple Geeker who says, I asked SRS if you muted him remotely last week.
Hey, shout out to Denise doing that. That's trickery.
Yeah, that's my cult magic right there. All right, so let's get to this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we absolutely need to get into before we wrap the show up that we haven't discussed here. Oh, yeah, really quickly. You need to fill me in on what the hell is going on with Marina Shafir and Jon Moxley, because I was hella confused when I saw this.
Okay, yeah, so that you weren't here last week. Last week, Moxley started the show, and he came out to talk to Tony Schiavone, and he ended it by saying, this isn't your show anymore. He pointed at Tony Schiavone, but we don't think he was talking to Tony Schiavone. Later in the show, he's backstage. Then Marina comes up and she starts beating up security guards, kind of like she was doing today. So they started this bit last week, and Moxley being like, I'm talking to Darby Allin. I want to have this conversation with Darby Allin. This is just a continuation of what happened last week, but they established it last week that Marina's gang, because Mox has been saying in so many interviews, every time they're like, hey, what about Marina? He's like, I love Marina. I wish she was in BCC. So they're kind of going forward with that.
Wait, but Moxley's still in BCC, right? Because it doesn't feel like he is.
Yeah, from the story he was telling last week, it doesn't feel like it. Like he came out there, no BCC merch, he came out with a different song, his New Japan song, like no BCC anything, different person. So it feels like he might not be, but he hasn't flat out been like, I'm not BCC anymore.
I like it. I like the way that they look together. I feel like they look cool, like two friends that are going to come in and kick your ass.
Yeah, it was funny, Denise, because last week people were like, Moxley looks different. He looks refreshed. He looks all this. And there was this bit for months and months and months about Moxley taking a vacation. The dude took a vacation and he came back looking like that vacation worked. Like Moxley looks motivated. He looks like he's ready to be the next fucking world champion, honestly. Like he looks like the person they know that Mox is. He's that Mox right now. And
I feel like Moxley really needed this because I felt like the last couple of months we already knew what to expect from him. Like there was nothing new
every time.
It was just the same old. There was a couple of pay-per-view matches he had that I didn't like. I didn't think they ended up being some of the weakest matches on the cards. And I remember talking about it and being like, you know what? Like this match wasn't good.
After that Naito match, something needed to happen.
Right, exactly. And so I feel like the writing was on the wall that, hey, Jon Moxley needs to switch things up. And it looks like the memo was received.
They did it. Moxley is ready. Marina looks awesome beating everybody up, and his confidence just looks like it through the roof. They told a cool story here that I don't know if people saw. Earlier in the show, Moxley and Marina pull up at Marina's beating up the security guards. They walk by the Elite, the Young Bucks and Jack Perry, and they don't look like they're mad at him. They don't look like, because they're not gang. They don't look like they're like, hey, it's Jon Moxley, let's be on guard. They look kind of like they might have been in cahoots or something was going on. That was weird. But then later in the show, they came and beat up BCC, and who didn't make the save that's supposed to be a part of BCC?
Oh my God, he's totally leaving them and join. I don't know if he's going to join the Elite, but he's definitely going to be, in cahoots with the Elite, because he even put over Jack Perry.
Right? He's like, I kind of like you, kid. Like he put up over Jack Perry. They didn't jump him from behind. That little interaction was like, they look a little too confident together. Like, what's going on here? And then the thing that happened later in the show, I'm like, wait, they're beating up the BCC. That's supposed to be Moxley's homies, and he's not coming to save them.
Yeah, so they gotta deal with that at some point, because if I'm the BCC, I'm gonna want this addressed. Like, why the hell didn't you have our back?
Yep.
Oh, brother. All right. And then speaking of the BCC and all of this and the Elite, we are going to be seeing Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli versus the Young Bucks. That's been added to All Out. All Out's looking good, man. We got Will Ospreay versus Pac, which I cannot wait. That 6-way today gave us a tease of that. Pac, Yuta, Claudio, Will, OC. Oh my gosh, who was the third person? I'm blanking really quickly on the third person. That was
OC, Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly. Thank you so much. In a 6-way, and dude, that was a freaking fun match, man. Holy cow. But the moments when we just had that stare down between Pac and Will, and people were chanting holy shit, and we're gonna get this guy one-on-one at All Out.
Yeah, I'm pretty jealous. We just talked about all my friends are going to be in the building. They're about to see an amazing show. Everything that they have announced so far, but specifically Will Ospreay and Pac are going to go one-on-one for the international championship, potentially two of the best wrestlers in the entire world in their prime, about to cook. I cannot believe this. I'm so excited about it. Their interactions are exciting. Ospreay is on a roll. Pac could potentially win this. Like, there's so many great elements attached to this.
Oh, it's looking good, man. Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. We're going to see Swerve versus Hangman, MJF, Daniel Garcia, Mercedes Moné, Hikaru Shida, Kazuchika Okada in that four-way, and then Bryan Danielson and Jack Perry. So It's looking like a pretty good wrestling card. Like, we're going to get a wrestling show. This
might be the second year in the row where All Out is a better wrestling show than All In. I mean, the verdicts is still out, but like the setup so far is like, oh, they might do it again. That's crazy. And
yeah,
All Out
last
this
year
theater was incredible, you know?
Oh, that's going to be kind of hard to top.
Yeah, they're trying.
I'm sure they'll have a good one. Also, speaking of All Out, on Sunday, the day after, Reg and I will be here live at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be doing an All Out post show. Again, that'll be happening the following day. So make sure you guys tune in. Also, keep an eye out because I'll be posting Scrum stuff up here. I have an interview with somebody tomorrow. That'll be dropping here tomorrow as well. So keep an eye out for all of that. So there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of videos. If you guys haven't checked out my Bash in Berlin content, please check it out. That Liv and Dominic Mysterio video is doing great freaking numbers. It's like over 100,000 views.
Ooh.
But the one that I really, really, really loved and thought it was a great interview, one of my favorites, was Rhea and Damian Priest. So please check that one out. I want that one to reach over 100,000 views because I loved that interview. So please give it some love. Reg, what do you got going on?
It's regular Grab City this week. I'll be with Phil, talking with Denise this Sunday. Please, you guys, I got a new special out, Stoner Dad. I'll be rapping online. You can check it out on Twitter. You can check it out on my YouTube, righteousreg.bandcamp.com. Please support. It's rent due this week. So if you got anything, send it my way. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for showing up. We can't not have the California connection because it felt like it's been a long time since last time, but we came back with a vengeance, and I appreciate all you guys for being here.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a pretty long show. We got Alvin White Jr., by the way, DWO member, who says Denise is already in the T-Swift cult. Dude, I've been in that cult. I'm deep in that cult, man.
That's one of the craziest cults in the world, honestly.
Hey, and I'm in it. All right, we got John Taylor here who says, Reg, I'll send the AEW jet. Reg, I'll send the AEW jet to pick you up and take you to All Out. Will Washington can hitchhike.
He's probably already there.
No, he's in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
he's
close
in Milwaukee. I think he's coming back home and then he's going to Chicago or he's going somewhere else. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know Will's schedule anymore. I lost track. All right, John, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who joined the post show here today. As always, thank you guys so much. Happy to be back. And again, do not miss the AEW All Out post show on Sunday. Alrighty, everyone, have a great day. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.